Hello, John Talley here with Partzilla.com. Today, we're going to spend some time answering in some questions that have been sent in to us over the years. Now, what qualifies me to be able to do this? Well, I've been in the industry for quite some time now. Started my early development working on just units at the house when I was 12, 13 years old. Rebuilt my first engine, a CT90, which we still own, when I was 13. 16, I was working at the local Honda dealership just as the shop cleanup boy. Now, great amount of time went by in between when I left there and when I came back into the industry. Ended up getting a degree in electrical engineering, owned my own company, sold it, and just for fun, I started working at the local dealership again, of all places. Well, when it was bought out a year or so later, they asked me, the new owners asked me to be the GM. Well, did that for 5 years. And then just on a whim, the CEO of that company that bought it said, well, John, why don't you do a how-to video? Maybe we'll start producing videos for our YouTube channel, a little fledgling channel with about 15 subscribers at the time. Well, that's evolved into this now. So my full-time job is working on and restoring and fixing and explaining how to work on and fix all different types of machines. It doesn't matter to me if it's an ATV, a side-by-side, motorcycle, or an outboard engine, or an inboard for that matter. Doesn't matter. It's just, makes no difference to me. It is just a simple SSBB, 4-stroke or 2-stroke engine. And I love them all. So, that being said, let's look at a few questions that people have sent in, and I'm going to give you my thoughts and opinion on each one. So let's dive into it. Should I always buy OEM brake pads, or are aftermarket ones just as good? That's a bit of a loaded question, but let's start off with just utility type pads. Right, one of the main competitors with the OEMs is EBC, and EBC makes a great product. Are they on par with the OEM? I'd say that they are for the most part. Now, stepping away from utility, if you're starting to get into performance, here's where you need to be a little bit careful. Now, the OEMs, they're going to be a little bit conservative as to how much bite that it's going to initially bring in when you pull in or press that brake lever or pedal. That makes it easier to manage when you really get into the brakes hard. Now, if you're talking about a performance pad, more than likely it's going to grab really hard. Now, if you're not prepared for that, it can get you into a lot of trouble really quick, especially if the surface that you're riding on is the least bit slippery, aka raining. Now, the other thing you need to take into account, if you're going to a real performance pad on either an ATV, motorcycle, and that's mainly what we're talking about here is in the racing world, be prepared to have to maintenance the machine more often because all that grip is going to come with a price, and you're going to wear through pads and especially your brake rotors a lot quicker than you are with just the factory pad, because these are more aggressive and they stop the machine faster. Like I said, there's a price to pay for all that additional stopping power. Now, all that being said, I would stay with the OEM or a well-known brand like EBC and steer away from some of the cheaper alternatives out there. They're not going to be up to the standard that the OEMs were designed for in the first place. All right, this one's going to start a storm. Honda or Yamaha, which brand is actually more reliable? At this stage of the game, all the big four manufacturers, as far as Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, they are really, really close. And it comes down to just absolutely your preference of the machine, the most appeals to you and what you're going to be using it for. In the Talley household, we are split right down the middle in between Hondas and Yamahas, funny enough. Now, have I owned the other manufacturers? Yes, but I've gravitated toward these two for whatever reason. I'm sure I would be just as happy on a Kawasaki or a Suzuki of the same flavor. But for me, I tilt more toward the Honda side. My son, he tilts more toward the Yamaha. Now, which one's more reliable? I'd say that they are dead even, and we've had equal machines or close to it, well, since he was 5 years old. So I've got a long history on those two, on the same trails at the same time with the same type riding styles. So in between the two, it's dead even for me. Is it worth paying extra for OEM bearings and seals? It depends. When I'm down inside of an engine, such as this crankshaft bearing right here, I'm going to go with the OEM. If I'm working on a wheel bearing, something outside of the engine cases, it's hard not to go to the Pivot Works or All Balls Racing or a kit from Moose Racing, because they'll have everything that you need to complete it, versus most of the OEMs, you have to order each individual part, and chances are you're probably going to miss a seal or an O-ring or something and then have to reorder it. So depends. Inside the engine, I'm going to go with OEM. I have no problem using the aftermarket kits and do so quite often as long as they are a reputable brand. Can cheap Amazon parts actually damage your ATV? Well, definitely. I mean, everybody knows that China is an up-and-comer, and that's who we're talking about here. But there are certain, let's call them manufacturers, that are not quite as scrupulous as they should be, and they're in it for the quick buck, and then they get out, change their name, and then destroy that name as well, and the history repeats over and over again. It may look like the real deal, and it may perform for a while, but chances are it is going to fail sooner than later because of the lack of control, tolerances, and the materials they use to construct whatever it is. And I don't care if you're talking about a bearing, a crankshaft, a carburetor, or a fork tube, you know, any and all of the above. But I'm not saying all of them are bad. You just need to be really careful. In some instances, they're a savior for a lot of the older machines out there, like my 73 CT90. There are certain pieces that you can't get anymore. Even if you can find them used, they're not in that good a shape. But there are certain manufacturers, usually in China, that have picked up the mantle and they've recreated those parts to the best of their ability, and some of them are very good. You just need to be careful when you're choosing which supplier you want to go with. All right, kids, that's going to wrap up this session. Hopefully I helped out a few people. If you disagree with some of these opinions, leave them in the comment section below, because I want to hear about it. Now, you've got something else you want me to cover? Leave that in the comment section as well, because we do read them, and who knows, it may make it on the next session that we do. Well, we just want to say thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Y'all take care.